All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of our election coverage, live from Channels Television's election studios, as we bring you up to speed with activities in the run-up to the elections on Saturday. We'll be here all week, as we have told you since Monday, and up until the results are announced. Elections have real meaning for democracy, and it's part of the process through which great nations are built. A cardinal factor of elections in Nigeria is the electioneering campaign, which is run on funds so huge that candidates to elective offices cannot attempt to undertake it alone. It is, as they say, big business. And the business of elections cannot go on without money. The magnitude of funds has the potential to impact positively or negatively on an economy. At least, that was the experience of the general elections in 2015. Tonight on the program, we'll focus on electioneering campaigns in Nigeria, election financing, attempts by the umpire to monitor election spending, and the impact of all of this on the economy. I'm Ladi Akiridoluale.
And I'm Ijoma Onyato. Welcome to the show. Now, for the next couple of weeks, we'll want to break down money politics during this election season. Now, it's 2 days to the elections, and some of them say the cost of electioneering campaigns is on the increase. Now, others have described the amount of money spent by political parties as outlandish. From the cost of expression of interest forms to keeping the campaign train on the road. And while it may seem appropriate to regulate election spending, there appears to be an incoherent mechanism to monitor it. Now, tell us what you think about election financing tonight on hashtag the verdict or hashtag 2019 elections. We had so many interesting comments yesterday, didn't we, Ladi?
Indeed.
Many interesting ones. And then we had people with all sorts of pictures.
Oh, yes, about with the whole idea with the voters card,
exactly.
the PVC. And, well, we did ask that you take a picture of you and your PVC with your name and location, like you're seeing on the screen.
Right.
But quite a number of people are still sending that without the location and the name. Of course, you wouldn't be really helping us if you don't do that, because we want to give an idea of how widespread this collection process is.
So what you do is hold up the PVC like you can see there. Take a picture, send it to us. Don't forget to include your name and location, like you said, just because that kind of helps us with the demographics to tell us where you are in the world and how far the collection process has gone. You can also send us a short video. Again, send it to hashtag the verdict or hashtag 2019 elections. Our team is standing by, waiting to hear from you, Ladi.
Now, let's put this conversation in perspective. Money talk is about facts, figures, and numbers. And who better to begin this process with us than the man who talks about his increasingly more competent capacity for mathematics, our political correspondent, Sheung Okibale. Sheung,
good luck, Sheung. Good luck.
I thought by today we must have given me the opportunity to take away the bad memories of my bad mathematics in secondary school. But you keep bringing it up, Ladi.
You are talking about figures. No, you are talking about figures.
Don't worry.
You are talking about figures, and we are with you on the process.
I'm rooting for you,
Sheung.
I trust you. I believe in you.
I mean, is it a crime to tell you guys a secret? I just told you a secret that I'm not very good at mathematics, and you guys keep saying it every day.
Okay, we promise we'll stop saying it until tomorrow.
We will try, not promise.
Until tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on this side of the debate. Well, this board for you in the coming days, you will see more of bringing you this map to give you a sense of what we're talking about in this election. Very critical. And I won't stop talking about it, because this is what you need to know. It's a national election, a general election, presidential election, and the legislative election. So there are a lot of issues on the table here that we need to talk about. The politicians are crossing their T's and dotting their I's. Some of them are having their very last campaign tomorrow. You want to know what they are doing, what they are thinking, and what they are planning, and that's what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about the financing of elections in Nigeria. We make comparison to other climes. How much do we spend? Can we afford it as a nation to spend so much money on our elections? But on this part of this session of the program, we'll be looking at some figures that will interest you. So let me take you quickly away from this And I will show you what this all means together. You'll be hearing 84 million voters. That is just how many voters that are registered. Let me tell you, INEC will say that it has perhaps the largest record of people on the continent. That's perhaps the largest data that you can find, around 84 million people that are registered under the INEC system and voting register. So if you look at it, the new registrant that we have when INEC opened the continuous voter registration was 14 million, because the last time it was just about 64 million voters that went into 2015 election. About half of that were those who collected their permanent voter cards. That ended on Monday. We're yet to get the latest figures from INEC on just how many people were able to collect their permanent voter cards. We should get that by tomorrow. But that is the increase what we had from 2015. 14 million more Nigerians registered from 2017 to 2018 when the CVR exercise ended. There's one man that I love to talk with when it comes to issues of election data is Abiodun Ajijola. He joins us from our Abuja studio. He's the national coordinator of Election Monitor. If he's there, he can also share some experience. There you go. He's in the Nigerian hat, the green and white Nigerian hat color. Thank you so much, Abiodun, for joining us on the program at this hour. Ijoma and Ladi, 14 million more people have registered, but that is not the all about the figures that we need to know in a short while.
Yeah, Shane, before you go on, I was going to ask, you said 14 million registered, and then you had said half of that are the numbers of people who have collected their PVCs. Are we making progress then? Yes, so, more people have been added, but tell us. Yeah.
So last time we had about 64 million registered voters, not those who have their permanent voter card. You may register, but if your voter card is still with INEC, you cannot vote. Your name may be on the register, but you cannot vote. Just about half of that 60 million collected their PVC. Those are the ones who are authorized to be able to vote. This time around, when INEC gives us the figure of those who have collected their permanent voter cards, then we will be able to know just how many people are able to vote. Abiodun Ajijola, what can you tell us with this figure? It's an enormous number, isn't it, Abiodun?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for having me. I commend your great coverage of the elections. First of all, I think that 84 million is a large number of people. It's a very good figure. Some of us were worried at the beginning of the CVR when it appeared as if in about 10 months, we only had about 3.8 million to 4 million people registered as of February, March last year, 2018. But you can imagine that from that March-April period down till the 31st of August, we were able to increase that to get to 14 million. And that, for me, is a very remarkable improvement. And it's good because the more inclusive an election is, that is, the more people participating, the more credible it is. You can see the figure you have presented there, 14 million that have been registered in this process, also shows that there has been an improvement in the CVR process. In 2014, that was when we had the last CVR, before the CVR that has just been suspended. And we had 9.9 million registrations after business rules and APHIS, which is what helps you to remove the multiple registrations and all of that. And you had 9.9 million. And now you have increased it to 14.2 million, which is a 44.1% increase, almost 50%. So for me, that is an improvement because it shows that the Commission has improved its ability to get more people registered. But the big question is PVC.
If I may jump in quickly, if I may jump in quickly, Biodun, we do know that registration is one thing. Having your permanent voter card is another thing entirely. How many people collected their permanent voter cards in 2015?
Yeah, I think we had registered voters, we had about 67 million, over 67 million, and I think PVC collection was around 60 million. I've forgotten the exact figure, but around 60 million. So we got into the 2019 election, we got out of 2015 with about 8 million PVCs uncollected. And we have been battling since 2015 to get the majority of those collected. And a great majority of those 8 million that were out of the 2015 batch that we were unable to be collected are still not, most of them have not been collected. I think some people have changed locations and maybe they have lost interest. So I expect that when INEC releases the data of the PVC collection, which should be sometime between now and Saturday, I expect that they will give us not only the total number, but we might have the differential, which shows you that how many are outstanding from the 2015 PVCs vis-a-vis how many are outstanding from the 14 million registered in 2018 and 2017, because you will expect that there will be an increase in the collection rates for the 2017-2018 as opposed to the 2015, because many people have had several years to collect it, but for one reason or the other have not. But but we hope that we have a much increased number of PVC collection, because at the end of the day,
I do hope that
if you
we
have
have
14
those,
million
like you said, with the fear of 3 different states now that have their permanent voter cards burned, if even when they are not able to collect it at some point. Let's look at some other figures for you. We talked about this age distribution with Ladi and Ijoma yesterday. Interesting that we have perhaps more first-time voters registered this time around, people between age 18 and 35. And if we look at it, so we have more male than female. Ladi, Ijoma, your take on this? We have more male this time around. That's about 52% to 47% of voter, which of course female. They have just about 39 million people that are registered. Ladi.
I don't know. Do you really think it makes a difference? I don't know whether the gender distribution...
It certainly distorts if you're taking it from the population angle. Because from the general population demographics, there are more females than there are males.
No, but the issue is, does it make a difference in who wins?
All right.
It might win.
Like in American politics,
in this
where
time
you say
around,
Hillary Clinton lost because he didn't
no,
get
but in
women.
this time around, hold on, because I see you're about to...
I want to unveil one thing to you.
Yes.
It will interest you also.
Okay.
That we have 14% of the registered voters who are housewives. That is what the figure tells us.
Okay.
11 million.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm not saying it's good or bad, Ladi, but I'm just giving you the
So
figures.
are housewives, I mean, tell me your statistics, are housewives more likely to vote or not to vote?
They are likely to vote because, well, it depends on when they register.
Well, I actually wanted to find out something, Shehu, if I may, from your guest, from Abiodun Ajijola, if he'll be... When he was talking, he did make mention of the fact that the differential between those who registered and those who collected their PVCs in 2015 was quite humongous, and that a lot of those who didn't collect in 2015, even as we speak now in 2019, have still not collected, and there may be any number of reasons for that. Now, in 2019, if we take, for example, Oyo State, where we heard from Buki yesterday, she said almost 800,000 of the PVCs, as at the close of the day on Monday, had still not been collected. I'm wondering if he has any kind of explanation for why that may be the trend.
The
issue of relocation. And that's also, I think, from what we have seen and observing and discussing with various people. So the big challenge you have, and because there was a time during the CVR process, over a period of about 3 or 4 months, that we did conduct a survey of a few thousand Nigerians to find out why people have not gone to collect their PVCs and what's actually the problem. And we had different reasons, but one of the biggest issues is just the issue of location change. So this is the problem. Even if you want to do a transfer, you are going to take your PVC to the INEC office in your local government or the state court headquarters in your state, or the state capital, I mean, and you will apply for a transfer. But the problem you have is that somebody was maybe doing his youth service or working in Bayelsa, he is now in Kano. So the problem is that he never collected the PVC in the first place. So he doesn't even have the PVC. And he has to collect the PVC, then use it to apply for a transfer. So some of the challenge we have is that people will say, how will I go from Bayelsa, from Kano back to Bayelsa just to collect PVC, then go back and then, apply.
That's
so
definitely
I
a
think
very
this
big
is one
problem.
of the biggest.
Abiodun Ajujala, before we wrap it up on this segment of the figures behind the polls, let me quickly show our viewers, and I probably will take a pause on this, and this gives you an understanding of the increase in the registration, the percentage that is, and it gives you an understanding of in terms of comparison between all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. So if you see there, we have the North Central 36%, 31% in the Southeast, and 23% in the Northeastern region, and South-South has 27%. Though some may be having more registered voters, but the issue is that there are more people who registered in North Central region. That's how we hang it. Thank you so much, Abiodun Ajala. We take a break on the show, on the verdict, and we come back to talk more about the election and some of the issues. Stay with us, everyone.